Dinesh D'Souza can go suck a dick. And he needs to be deplatformed already. This is a prime example of what I mean when I say everything with a capital E that the right has is no you. Okay, it's an insult to Paul Rubens, it's an insult to Pee Wee Herman, and it's an insult to people with more than a lima bean for a brain to see this shit day in and day out. Absolutely everything said against the right, everything based in fact, in logic, in common sense, in common decency, is never countered with facts, logic, common sense, or decency. It's just, no you. This knee-jerk pee-wee reaction meant to get the attention off their own moral and mental faults and turn it all into some nonsensical accusation against the other side. Do you remember at all when you were a kid growing up, or even if it didn't happen to you? There's about 1,000,001 coming-of-age stories you can watch on TV or in movies. It's that time in your life where you were kind of drifting away from your younger siblings and the kids in the neighborhood because you hit puberty and the dynamics suddenly changed for you. Your interests began to change. But your pesky little brother or that kid with the training wheels from next door just kept sticking around, desperately trying to fit in, when all he did was make an ass of himself. Not necessarily his fault, but he just wasn't mentally or emotionally up to par with the older kids. He was just out of his element. That's what I think about when I hear these people, like Dinesh D'Souza. They just aren't with it, okay? They're just on a lower level. And it's just plain inappropriate for them to keep trying to fit in. They have no hat to throw into the ring. They have nothing to bring to the table. And it's time for mom and dad to tell them to stay away from the big kids. It's time for these platforms to get rid of them. You don't know what I'm talking about, right here. Here's one tweet from Dinesh D'Souza. The left tried a high-tech lynching of Clarence Thomas, but as sometimes also happened during Jim Crow times, the target got away. Not surprisingly, Thomas was mighty pissed and has been giving it to the lynching party for 3 decades. So now they want to lynch him again. What? What the fuck does that even mean? And this other one. This is even better. Why do Democrats loathe Clarence Thomas so much? Gee, I wonder why. Because now, as in the old days, their old days, Democrats only like blacks who stay on the plantation. Runaways have always been a threat to the whole system. Thomas's renegade motto is, I'm my own man. It's okay to leave the plantation. What? What the fuck does that even mean? Plantation. He's a goddamn Supreme Court justice. Not even an honest one with a shred of integrity. And you're comparing his life to a plantation? You fucking moron. But yeah, this is all the left's fault. That's what he wants to drive your attention toward. That it's all the left's fault. And of course it's the left's fault because he's got all the trigger words in there. Lynching, Jim Crow, plantation. Now what the fuck could his pea brain be thinking? That the right is not literally the party of Jim Crow and genocide and child brides and starving children and forced pregnancies. No, you're not supposed to pay any attention to that. He said those buzzwords, so you're supposed to ignore facts and common sense and decency and think that people who are against all those things are the real racist and sexist ones. Because that's all D'Souza and his ilk have. They don't know what racism and sexism means. They have no concept of these words because they don't care about other people. They're just all dirty words that they hear which are used against them, and, you know, because they have absolutely no concept of their faults, they know people don't like those words, though. So they're going to throw them out, even though how they are using them makes absolutely no sense. And that's how you know how far gone these people are morally. That's how you know these people are fucking garbage. But something else that they're actually counting on is that you will peruse all of their tweets, you will see all of their little buzzwords and be stupid enough to associate these things with the people that he's accusing of, even though his party is exactly what those words describe. He is accusing other people of exactly what his side is guilty of every day. Every accusation is a confession. Always for the right. Never, ever forget this. Never forget it. That's why people say it. That's why they continue to say it. That's why it is so monumentally important to remember that. Whenever you see people like this douche pull this shit, like I said, like the little annoying kid that insists on hanging out with you and your older friends, who tries to fit in, doesn't know what the fuck they're saying, doesn't know what the fuck words mean, because they just have no concept of it. They're just not there. They're just not with it. And if you continue to let them intrude on someplace, somewhere that they don't belong, it's going to be bad for everybody. Nobody's going to have a good time. Anyway, I just wanted to get that little rant out of the way. Fuck you, Dinesh D'Souza. Suck a dick. And stop with the no you bullshit.